I know Kenny is. So we got our next person ready to go. I think that's Lori Scott. So Lori, you are on deck.
Oh,
And Jody, thank you for being part of the. Thank you for your service. Thank you for being part of the Author-a-thon, and most importantly, thank you for authoring the message that's so important. Is that there are heroes in the military, and the moms are, I think, really one of the biggest because they're really juggling a lot of stuff. So this is one of my favorite projects we've done. Thank you.
well, thank you. Thank you. Do you want me to stay on and do the hosting now?
Yeah, you are now host, and Lori is your next wonderful author.
Somebody might have to stay on to help me because I'm not sure if I got all the technical skills
Oh,
for this. But good morning,
there's
Lori.
there's
How
a
are you?
there's a moderator,
Hi.
and they're bringing the people in, and then they'll
Okay.
take you off whenever you're done speaking.
All right. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Hi. And also thank you, Ken, if you're still on there for being patient with me, because like you, Jody, I always have some technical things going on with me. But my name is Lori Scott, and I'm here to talk about my book. You can see it behind me on the shelf, but also right here. And this is a young adult novel that last year won the Christy Award. I was like, whoa, how did that happen? It was very, very exciting. So I'd like to tell you a little bit about that because even though it won a pretty major award in the Christian sphere, there's a lot of people that don't know very much about it. I got to put my glasses on so I can see better. Um, so without really giving away any spoilers, it's basically like a good girl's guide to murder set on a soccer field because you can see the front cover has a soccer player on it. So the story follows the main character whose name is Danny, and she's very quiet, very introverted, and she's best friends with a very extroverted, over-the-top friend. They're both teammates. Well, her best friend decides to quit that team to pursue some other interests, and that leaves Danny just kind of she has no support system now. With introverts, this happens a lot that they feel awkward in social situations. They have trouble starting those conversations. And if you grow up with your friends or you have your friends for a long time, everything's fine. But when that's threatened and that goes away, then suddenly you're very out of place, fish out of water. Anyway, this emotional thing that she goes through makes her vulnerable. Now she's trying to make some connections and she becomes, because she's so introverted, sort of interested in a neighbor, a younger neighbor, a young girl, and she thinks that this neighbor might be being groomed for human trafficking. So her goal is during this book is she's trying to secretly keep tabs on this girl because like Danny, this girl has isolated herself. She's cut herself off from her peers. She's not finding ways of connecting, so she's vulnerable. And Danny sees the signs that she might be someone who might be human trafficked. Um, but here's the thing, while Danny's keeping secret tabs on her to protect her, someone's keeping tabs on Danny because she's vulnerable too. It's a story about human trafficking for teens. But here's the deal. That's a hard topic, and that's a hard sell. In fact, when I first pitched my young adult novel idea to my publisher, it was a different idea. And they came back and told me, look, we already have a book that has a similar plot. So could you come up with something different? And I took the problem to my critique group and I said, hey, what do you guys think would be a good topic to write about for teens? One of the friends in my group works with her church to help recover human trafficked people. And she said, well, you should write about human trafficking. And I looked at her and I said, no, absolutely not. No, thank you. I don't want to think about it. This is horrible. It's awful. No, thank you. And she's kind of like, well, just think about it, pray about it, see what happens. Well, God knuckled down on me. That whole next week, I just kept coming across social media posts, coming across news stories all about teens and people in communities being trafficked. But still, there's a little bit of distance there, right? Because these are national news story. It's out there. So, I can keep my safe distance. Well, I live in the DFW area. And wouldn't you know, at a Mavs game, a young girl gets taken. And that hit close to home. And that's when I said, okay, God, yes, I'm going to write this story. And I usually write humor. How do you combine humor with human trafficking? But somehow I was able to pull off a balance. I think part of what goes with that is you need to have periods during the book where there's a little bit of levity. It's not humor about human trafficking, but just life in general. And that allows you a little bit of breathing space. But then that also brings some of those hard lessons in even harder because you've had a chance, sort of like when you're watching a horror movie, which I don't watch because I don't like horror movies, but sometimes my kids will watch me in the other room, but they have that little, oh, we're okay. And then they jump out. So that's kind of how this truth hurts, this truth hits. So I thought I'd read a couple of things that were said by people who reviewed it. Like I said, I was absolutely tickled to get the Christy Award. When I went to the gala, I didn't even realize what a big deal it was. People actually went up on stage with prepared speeches like it was the Oscar. And I'm sitting in the audience next to these people whose books are on my bookend next to my bed because I love them and I'm all fangirling on everybody. And then they call my name as the winner and I'm like, wait, what? What a shock. So here's some of the things that they said. They said that Scott definitely handles the real life struggles of teens with just the right touch of humor and gravitas. Packed with action and suspense, Offside tackles some of the most serious issues facing teens today while pointing readers to God as their ultimate defender. And another said that there were unexpected twists, the read was smooth, and the chapters were short. Now, here's the deal. When people look at the book, they think, oh, what a great idea, except I don't play soccer. So therefore, I'm not going to get the book because it's about soccer. It's really not about soccer. And along those same lines, I don't have to be a hobbit to enjoy going on an adventure. And I'm certainly not a detective, but I love a good mystery. So even though this is a sports-related novel, it is something that any reader can enjoy and interact with. I've also got some amazing feedback from some of my readers that often brings me to tears because Danny, like I said, is very introverted and feels like she is alone. This is a very common human feeling out there, especially in the teen years when you're feeling the social scene, you're feeling awkward, you're pretending to play on your phone or talk to somebody on the phone so they don't realize that you don't know what to say or where to go. And I've had people come to me almost in tears saying, I was Danny. How did you capture me so completely? This was me. I was this person. I was this person hiding in the bathroom eating my lunch so I wouldn't have to be in the lunchroom trying to connect with other people. So beyond the message of human trafficking, there is also this message of hope for people who struggle in social situations. Bleh, sorry, tongue not working. To let them know that they're not alone and that there is a world out there of people that they can connect with. Let's see. Oh, I was listening to a couple people talking before me, and some of them mentioned that they were teachers. I likewise am a teacher. This is one of the reasons why I took the approach that I took with this book, because I know kids. I know what can trigger or traumatize them. And so I try to approach this topic in a very reader-friendly way to allow them to be able to explore the topic in a safe manner. This is one of the reasons why I think it would be a good book to have in a book club group, because you can talk about these things and you can have characters that you can relate to. Also, he mentioned drawing, and I'm like, oh my goodness, the last author was an artist, and I just love drawing. And so I don't know if Ken is still on there or around, but hey, you can check out my Instagram account. It's at Stories by Lori. And I do have some picture books coming out. The characters are behind me on the shelf back here, and they're coming out in 2027 with Penguin Random House. So I'm very excited about that book series as well. Jody, did I miss anything?
No, you didn't miss anything. You did great. I just want to say you hooked me with the murder mystery, but this is a really tough subject, and it sounds like you might have just hit the nail on the head. But I can't wait to read your book and see all about what
Yes,
you're
I
talking about, because
always
this is a
encourage
very
people
interesting
that are on
topic.
the fence to read the reviews, because the reviews will let them know it's going to be okay. And you might even enjoy it.
Okay. Well, thank you, Lori. And again, tell everybody where they can find you.
You can find me on my website at Lori-Z-Scott, and I think it's listed in my name down there, .com. Or you can find me on Instagram. That's a real easy place to find me. It's stories, STORIES, .by.Lori, stories